What is going on, everybody? Welcome, welcome, welcome. I am here with the illustrious Ivixey.
Hello.
Very expressive. So I wanted to start off. We were talking a little bit. What do you know about Twitch's like hierarchy and royalty?
Oh man, I never really watched the big ones. I thought at some point during my streaming career, I thought that it would help if I went to the big ones to understand how how I should stream.
Hmm.
But it's just a whole new level, you know? They just don't do things the same way. Like they don't read chat cuz it's go by so fast. Like you can't really learn from them, you know what I mean? So no, I'd never watched them.
Well, and then not only that, but they all kind of have their own cliques out there. It's a little harder to break into like the Twitch space because a lot of it is like side stuff. Like you're either in like OTK or you're in some big organization. It's a little harder to break out as yourself.
Yeah, it does feel like they have their own little group for sure. Yeah. Yeah. Like some of even live in the like a house with all of them and it's like little groups of VIPs.
I do remember content houses. That's a
Yeah.
whole other thing to get into because every
It is, isn't it?
every single one of them has failed. Like from team 10 to pretty much any and all of them. But it's just so it's been absolutely impossible to like miss anything about this, any clips, anything. I all I know is that she alleged some essay along with some actual like assaults and stuff. But it wouldn't be the first time something like this has happened in one of these like house like groups, especially for freaking Twitch creators.
Yeah. And they tend to like when they're in these groups, they also tend to like get together as streamers. And that a lot of times doesn't work either because there's this like competition between them and it's just toxic, you know? Um I have a question for you though. Do you know
Mhm.
these two specifically in any way? Like have you watched them or do you know
So
anything about them?
I know of them primarily because they centered around OTK people, same as like Asmongold and some other people. I
Yeah.
know Emiru from being like the Twitch e-girl. I mean, she wasn't like a part of the like booby meta on Twitch or anything like that. She was more so the ditzy kind of streamer and still kind of is, her and like extra Emily and all that. Mizkif on the other hand, like he's more so the like crash out streamer and has had a litany of allegations against him throughout the years. And
Yes.
not only that, but it's like three different people in OTK have been accused of like SA, and they all had to like end up leaving and stepping down.
Yeah. Oh man, did you know that she's actually also part of OTK? I didn't even
Yes.
know about that. But yeah,
It,
she's apparently also one of the owners.
she
That's insane.
I thought she was like I thought she was like a more recent hire for it, but it's entirely possible. I mean, Asmongold had to step away because of his political issues that he was getting into between him and Hassan once he started moving more towards being like MAGA and all that. So, but I think it's time to get into this and see what she has to say.
Let's see, let's see.
All right.
At the end of my last stream, I said that when I got home, I would be talking about some other things that I really, really did not want to talk about. But I feel like those things developing independently of their own from the TwitchCon incident.
Are you okay with the 1.25? Just some people talk a little too slow for me.
Is this 1.25? Yeah,
No,
this is fine.
this is normal speed.
Oh, okay. Yeah, sure. Try it out. Try it out.
Okay. All right, chat. We're doing 1.25. I apologize, but my brain is like, help, please.
Have gone to a point where I kind of feel like I have no choice. So,
You got notes?
Yep.
I've already
That's a little crazy though to have taking down notes on your essay and your own like assault and all that. But I have to say, when it comes to that, like at least she's gonna have a narrative. She's gonna have a story. She's gonna have something rather than a lot of these females that come out with this. They're like, this happened like 2 years ago, and then this happened yesterday, but this happened 5 years ago, and it's like I can at least appreciate the fact that she like did a timeline.
No. I mean, listen, she's talking to thousands of people. That there's some responsibility behind that, right? So obviously, I'm with that. She has to come with like receipts, you know. She has to come with like a timeline. She has to be organized because she knows that the next hour she's gonna get a bunch of stuff thrown back at her. So yeah, she needs to have that well organized in her head. Speak about it, yeah, for sure.
You say that, but there's people with like 30,000 live viewers who just like lie and BS about a whole lot of stuff. So,
well, I appreciate it for one that she comes prepared with the story.
100%, because it then we don't have to go looking for the information. Like she has it all right there. And I have seen clips of her, like she made a whole collage of like DMs and stuff. And so I'm like, thank you. So it's not just your word against his, like you have actual evidence.
Seen a lot of people speculating about what I'm going to be talking about. And some people have been right, but even for the people who were right, they were only like 5 to 10% right. I don't think I've seen a single person online who knew or understood the severity of what I want to talk about today. And I want everyone to be aware that I've been handling the situation very seriously, and I've spent a lot of time thinking this over. And not only that, I've been in contact with a lawyer. I had them review everything that I'm planning to say today, because I wanted to make sure that if I was going to do this, I was going to do it right.
I'll say two things on this, being a devil's advocate. On one hand, it's good she did that. On the other hand, a lot of people could use that against her, because it's like you consulted a lawyer so you couldn't be sued again, like for defamation or anything of that nature. So, but I do think it was smart of her to do that, because on the other hand, it's like the fact that she has all these receipts, it's obvious that something happened. So you wouldn't want like that to be buried under a lawsuit because you slipped up and said the wrong thing.
I think specifically in the US, right, it can be so scary. You got to be prepared. And if you talk to a lawyer, you can be a little bit more prepared, I'm guessing, right? So yeah, good move.
True. Well, and then the other thing about it too, though, is it can't really be considered defamation because Mizkif has had a litany of allegations of SA already. So a defamation
makes it so much harder for him.
Yeah, it makes it way harder.
Hoodfella if you look at her past and look at his past, you're like, okay, he did it. I don't even need to hear it. He did it. Ouch.
Hoodfella says, man, Zeph looks different now. Yeah, Zeph got some bobas.
Because it's so serious. And I feel like it's gonna change things forever.
It will.
And so
it's hard to watch.
Yes.
Today, I'm finally going to be opening up about and telling everyone. Sorry, I swear I'm not trying to like make this dramatic or something. Like I said, I really wish I were not feeling like I had to do this. Just give me some time.
I can imagine what happened at TwitchCon brought it all up.
I'm gonna be doing a lot of
that too.
I guess you could say
like I need to tell my truth, you know?
Yeah. And the crazy thing about it too is like, had nobody taken that video at TwitchCon, it would just be word of mouth for people to believe. And with the amount of females who have come out and said stuff that like has occurred to them and was proven wrong, like or proven false, like it's the random dude, you know, shout out to him. Shout out to him who freaking took that video.
Yeah.
Otherwise,
fourth wall breaking in a way and talking about things that I thought would always be personal and just, you know, I would just carry them myself. Today, I'm finally going to be opening up about the psychological and domestic abuse, stalking and harassment, sexual assault, and threats of blackmail that Mizkif has done towards me and some of these issues which are still ongoing. For the entirety of this year, I've attempted to separate myself from him and not talk about him at all, and not talk about this issue and just not make it a public thing. I always tried my best to keep this to myself, but like I said, I feel like it's gone to the point, which I'll explain later, that I feel like it just has to be done. And I have always believed in not condemning people or starting drama online. So I'm sure a lot of people are going to be asking, why am I doing this and why now? And I would like to explain that before I get started so that people understand.
Okay, that's actually good, because it has been a couple of years since they were like broken up and all that. And a lot of the time, that's the number one question is like, why are you talking about this now? Like, why didn't you say something then? And to me personally, it's like, obviously nobody's going to relate SA to freaking drama, right? It's not drama, it's a freaking crime. And on top of that, I understand not wanting to rock the boat, but it's like, if he did it to you, who's to say he hasn't done it before or won't do it again? You know what I'm saying?
You know
it's
what? You know what? As someone who has been through a toxic relationship, it is extremely hard, right? It's extremely hard even after you're broken up, like a month, 6 months after. It's really hard to talk about it and even have to have a clear mind about it, you know? So honestly, I don't really blame anyone who comes only like 2 years later talking about something that happened 2 years ago, especially when it comes to a public figure, because this person has to be taken accountable for their actions because they have like that extra level of responsibility to the audience, right? And to the people around them. So yeah, I don't really ask that question a lot, but I understand. I understand people who have not been through it would ask, but as someone who has, I get it.
And 100%, because like when I was in high school and I got out of an incredibly toxic relationship, like my best friend of almost a decade, like when I was talking to him about it, was like, could you just shut up about this already? So it's like, it could be very like daunting where it's like, all right, fuck me then. I'll just keep this to myself.
Yeah, exactly. Like, you also feel this blame on yourself as well. Like you don't really know how to express it. It's really hard. Yeah.
True.
What prompted me to do this today, and that it's not just on a whim or something like that. Okay, so like I said, I took a lot of notes, so forgive me if I just end up reading off my notes. The first and probably most severe reason is that one of the rules that I set for myself along.
Thank you, Hemi Zach, for the $23.99 for Ivixey. All right. Not for me, I get it. I'll be sure to cut her the check, don't worry.
Thank you, Hemi. And Grim makes a good point as well. It does not look like acting, right? It looks like she's extremely anxious talking about it. Obviously, there's good people. There's people who can pretend, okay? There's people who go out there that they are really good actors, but I don't see it. Yeah, she's definitely super anxious and uncomfortable.
I've covered enough allegations to see when somebody's like making up a story or, you know, they're blowing it out of proportion versus somebody who's like, they're resisting telling the story. You know, it's like when you were a kid and you broke the lamp or something and you're over there talking to mom like, so I might have done I might so I get it.
A long time ago about withholding this information was that if I ever felt like somebody else was in danger of being hurt, I would then make myself speak about it. And 2 weeks ago, actually,
that's fair.
3 weeks ago now, I was informed by 3 separate people, one of whom was present for said incident, that he had done something similar to something that he had done to me, and someone in LA at the end of September. And this person is not a streamer or content creator, but obviously that does not matter. And because of this, I cannot in good conscience sit here knowing that I know critical information about someone that almost no one else does and not say anything.
Yo, what up, Damage?
I think that most issues and dramas should stay private and off the internet. And I still hold that belief to this day, and I will hold that belief going forward. However, there are certain things that cross the line, and I say that the line has been crossed too many times to be count. There's a point where I believe that people deserve to know. I think that at a certain point, if you know a lot of things about someone and you don't say anything to look out for others, it's wrong. It's wrong to keep it to yourself. I don't want what happened to me or what has happened to other people because of him to happen to other people. And I don't believe he will ever stop behaving the way he does. But regardless, like I said, one of the main reasons I decided to do this stream is to come out about all of this because I can't hold on to it any longer.
Thank you, Mono, for the 11 months.
Because it feels wrong to do so. And an honorable mention reason for why I'm doing this is that for a while, he has been indirectly threatening me through my friends and people that I work with. They've informed me that he said that if I ever talked about anything he did, he would try to create a smear campaign against me in retaliation.
Okay, so because
that isn't literally involving other people too, then, huh? There are other people in the story.
So because you don't know a whole lot about it, like Mizkif is one of those people, one of those like Twitch like royalty-esque people.
Yeah.
That kind of like when it came to FaZe Clan, that if he said something, it was law. Like that's how it was.
Right.
So it makes complete sense.
Scary.
It is. There's people who get put into these positions of power and they are able to utilize it because everybody around them is like, well, I don't want to lose my viewers for going against him. I don't want to lose it. So he 100% had the power and still even does, even with this like live stream going out, to be able to isolate her from people who would, rather chase the bag than protect her or protect others. And it's been seen time and time again, which is one of the reasons why Twitch is just this absolute, dog shit freaking platform.
Yeah.
I was told that he even approached.
Oh, did you have more to say?
No, it's so scary to be in her position, even though she is a really big streamer. I'll show you at some point. She had more viewers than he did on a live stream, and he like rage quit that day. It was like, what the hell?
Yes. Okay, that
so
clip.
She's pretty big too.
That clip I did see, but at the same time as well, like, and I'm sure you can, speak to this. It's much harder for a female streamer too, because a lot of the time, regardless of what type of a streamer a female is, they get lumped into the e-girl meta. They get lumped into 100%. It, and it's like, oh well, you do cosplay, like you should be used to people doing this, or you do this, right, or you act like that, like, and essentially like what Dan Clancy said was like, you kind of brought it on yourself type of mentality.
Right. Oh man, can't wait to get into that as well.
Yes. Okay, so for those of you who are here this weekend, myself, Ken, and Ivixey are going to be doing a bit of a deep dive into Twitch and all of its past controversies since its inception. Look forward to that. You can see the boy back on the channel. I don't know if we'll be doing it here or somewhere else, but stay tuned for that coming in the next couple of days.
There's streamers who were close with us back when we lived together, asking them if they would join with him, and they all refused. At TwitchCon, he approached one of my employees, threatening them.
Yo, Ozzy Cop, thanks for the $4.99, brother.
And saying if I ever talked about him, he would destroy me. Multiple people have told me that his plan was to claim that I kill animals, and that I killed my own rabbits, since I had several of my rabbits pass away over the course of 3 years while I lived with him.
That's rough. That's rough. Okay, you know what? And it's funny because what's going on, because like what's going on with Hassan right now is like so many people in his diehard followers are turning on him because of the whole Kaya shot collar situation. Yeah. It's like it's crazy how it's like you could lie about dead Palestinian kids, but we draw the line at animal abuse. Exactly. Because if there's one group of people who are rampant, no matter online or off, it's animal lovers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I mean, I get it. I mean, I was about to cry just now when she said that. That's a horrible thing to say. Oh my God.
It's terrible. And from some of the like tweets I've been seeing, he actually did try to do that. So we'll get into that. Jeez.
I'm sure he's probably listening now, and it's probably going to come as quite a shock to him that this information made its way back to me and that I've known for months. But if you try to threaten me to stay quiet, especially using my poor dead animals, I'm not going to stay quiet. Okay.
Poor girl.
So now that I've explained all the reasons why this took so long and why I made the decision to do this stream, I have a few more things I would like to get out of the way before I start talking about all of this. The way that I'm going to do this today is I'm going to run through everything from the beginning to the end to try to get across the story as accurately and fully as I can. And, hold on. I'm also going to be showing a few screenshots validating what I'm saying.
Oh.
I have more things, but this is what I felt comfortable using today. And I will be running through those later. Another thing that I'd like to mention before I start is that During my statement, I'm going to be mentioning directly the names of about half a dozen other creators who were present for certain things. And I want to say that none of these people did anything wrong. I'm just saying that they were there.
Okay,
I thought she was.
right.
I thought shots fired was about to occur. That's what I thought.
Although honestly, she might say that they have nothing to do with it now, but depending
Right.
on what story she tells, they might actually have something to do with it. Because the fact that he's talking to people saying, "Oh, she better shut up," like that person already knows more, you know, and that person has been quiet. So,
Yes,
yeah.
and it only takes the first domino because somebody like there's people have been coming out like and talking about the situation. Like some people have been covering it, and then you have other streamers coming out and being like, "Well, I can't believe you said this because behind the scenes you said this about her," or something like that. And it always, whenever something like this happens, regardless if it's 2, 3, 4 people, there's people who come out the woodwork and are like, "Well, time to drop my receipts now." So, yeah, she might say that they have nothing to do with it, but other people might be like, Emiru, I'm sorry to say, but they
there, and I've asked all of them permission. They all said that it was fine to include their names, but I know this won't stop everyone, but I asked people, for the streamers that I mentioned, please don't go bothering them or asking them for more information. If there's something else that they want to say, they'll say it themselves, so there's no point to go pester them and bother them about it. There are also streamers who gave me permission to share things that they relayed to me privately, but asked me to redact their names, which I, of course, did. And the last thing that I want to make clear is that not every person that I interact with or that I'm friends with knew the extent of all of these things, and in fact, most of them didn't. And some of them didn't even know anything at all. I tried to keep things private with my close friends, but if anyone during the past year ever approached me asking questions, I didn't lie and I told them the truth. But, yeah, I don't want there to be some kind of witch hunt like, oh, you know, you knew and this, no, a lot of people, you know, didn't know everything or didn't know anything.
Well, that's good, at least. That is good, because there's sometimes people who will be like, well, you've been her friend for X amount of years and you chose to be quiet. It's like, not everybody knows everything. And when you deal with it, regardless of what type of abuse it is, you learn to freaking hide it well. And because you don't want that embarrassment of other people knowing. And it's sad to say that it's embarrassment most of the time.
Yeah, and when you're friends with someone and they tell you a story about what's happening in their relationship, you can't run with it exactly as well, right? So because you don't know what's going on from the other side of things. Even if they have like this opinion about Mizkif, they don't actually know the full story. So it's hard as the person hearing the story to do anything with that information.
And I always hold it to this: it's not my story to tell. Like, it's not mine. Like, I might have that information, but I'm not gonna like oust this, because if they don't want it out there, I'm not gonna be that guy, you know, who does it. And thank you. Welcome to Showstopper Critical Thinking.
Okay, I think that's all that I have to get out of the way to start.
All right, we're getting into the details now.
So, this is public information. I initially moved in. Sorry, I'm still sick, like I said. Okay. This is all public, obviously, this part. I moved in with him, I believe it was the end of 2021, because he offered. I was living alone at the time, and I was having stalker issues in Kansas, and I mean, you guys know like all the stuff that happened there. I ended up joining the org and everything. We did a lot of streams together, and I mean, a lot of people already know this, but I'm just gonna come out and say it. We started dating. We were in a relationship starting January 2022.
So I think you actually had that on the docket. I did not know that she had a stalker prior to him. So yeah, so Emiru moved in November 2021 because he offered her protection with a stalker. And that's crazy to have issues with a stalker and then end up becoming a stalker, you know, allegedly, until we see that evidence. But that I think is the worst thing about an abuser, is that they'll learn how you've already been abused and start doing the same thing because you've already dealt with it once. You might convince yourself to deal with it again.
Yeah, predators, they will go for people who are vulnerable and people who have, absolutely 100%.
Sadness. I just hope I don't have to learn about him being the one that killed the rabbits. That's like my
Oh
biggest,
god.
like it's one of my bigger things right there. So
Same.
Jesus Christ, the critical
Critical
thinking.
thinking.
You never know.
Oh man.
After I joined OTK, I'm not planning to go into too much detail about the start of the relationship because it honestly doesn't really matter at this point. It's irrelevant now. The only things that really matter that you guys need to know for the story are that it was, one, an extremely private relationship. It was even hidden from friends and people in the org, but I mean, obviously people all eventually figured it out. They're not fucking stupid. And second, it was an extremely codependent relationship.
Ooh, that's not good.
It's not the issue, but let's just, making that clear for details. He initially portrayed himself to me as someone who was very nice to girls and wanted to help me feel safe from stalkers and wanted me to succeed as a teammate. And we grew very close over time, and I was very dependent on him for feelings of safety, social life, like my stream, my job, everything.
Can I say something?
Absolutely.
So my first thought when she said that, like how he portrayed himself, right?
The nice
The first
guy.
thing I think about, right. But the first thing I think about is how did you not know though? Because if you go to like his past and some of his allegations from before she moved in, she could have known, right? That is the first instinct. But then I think there's a difference between the persona on stream and the person behind the stream, right? If you become friends with someone behind the stream, they can be completely different because they're not that exaggerated personality. They're not doing all the theater. So even if a lot of the allegations and controversies around Mizkif happened before she moved in, it doesn't necessarily mean that she believes that that is the person that she's dealing with, right? So
True.
if you guys ever have that thought of, oh, she should have known because, there's already allegations and stuff, that's not necessarily how things happen. So I wanted to put that out there. Yeah.
Yes, though I will say this, considering Mizkif was dating Maya prior to her, and they had a lot of online, or I should say live arguments where he would call her a bitch and stuff like that, and you could see Maya being seriously upset with him for it, and her being like,
That I didn't know about.
Yeah, so I mean, it's also been so many years ago, so he could have done the whole I've changed, I've learned, I've the freaking the ring around that they normally do in an effort to get you to be with them or be with them again.
That's another thing, right? They're in their 20s. Like literally, she's 27 right now when she's telling the story. So like they are still developing as adults, right? So yeah, that's also true. Someone who's done something 2 years ago isn't necessarily the same person anymore.
Right.
Although in this case,
he's still that guy. He just learned how to hide it a lot better. But no,
Exactly.
I agree with you. And on the other hand too, we also have to take into account that a lot of it was allegations. Most of it was never proven or got swept under the rug. So it wasn't a definitive he was guilty.
So yeah, besides it being a very codependent relationship, the start of it was fine. I saw a lot of people mentioning this. They thought this was what I was going to talk about. It's not a secret. I think everyone who paid attention knew that he was very controlling over what I wore, to a degree, who I was friends with, and even when I would stream. So when it was definitely slow over time that bad things started happening. At the start, it would be things like, for example, he would throw bottles, like plastic bottles with liquid in it, not like glass bottles, at me, despite me telling him like I didn't like it and it scared me and I bruise very easily. He would throw his phone at me. I would tell him, it scared me, I don't like it. And one time it even hit me in the eye, which caused me to get a black eye, but he always was like, oh, it's an accident. And I was like, oh yeah, it's an accident. Like, of course I'm not gonna think that.
Okay, these are like telltale signs of somebody having anger management issues. Like this is what I always say: if they're gonna punch the wall, your face is next. Like it's never it's maybe it's the wall for multiple years, but there's always that chance it's going to be you. Because they're eventually, if someone's just going to either black out or snap or something, and that wall it's not, it's not going to do it for them eventually. But man, if you're ever in a relationship with somebody who tries to control who you're friends with or what you wear, it's time to run. it's time to go somewhere else, because that's
It's hard, you know, because you always like when you're in it and you love the person, you always make excuses for them, because when they don't want you to wear a certain thing outside, it's because, you know, they easily get jealous because they love you so much, and you make all these excuses for them that make sense in your head at the time, you know, where
right.
you don't see it as something toxic. It's just someone who's been insecure or has a bad relationship before you, and, you know, you make up all these reasons and you believe what they say, obviously. And yeah, you just don't see it as something toxic. You don't see it as a red flag.
Yeah, too deep in it. No, I hear what you're saying. And it's one thing to be like, okay, yes, you shouldn't go to the club in a bikini. It's a whole other thing to be like, okay, I don't like you wearing that dress because other people or other men are going to stare at you, or I don't want you wearing a button down because other girls are going to stare at you. Like, it's very, very different. It seems more like this one. He's like, you can't show any skin, no skin whatsoever. So,
you know, I just, at the time, I just kind of was, you know, I just brushed it off. And looking back now, I feel like that was kind of the start of him testing my boundaries, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So that was already kind of starting to show signs within the first 6 months of me and him being close. And then, again, a very public situation. The end of 2022, the cover-up allegations happened.
Okay, so the cover-up allegations are referring to Mizkif here. So Mizkif had some other SA/regular assault allegations against him, and there's a lot of Twitch streamers who have, and their biggest thing is wait it out, because the new, you know, when it comes to drama, the news cycle is 24 hours. You wait about a week, and boom, it's nobody's really talking about it anymore.
Yeah, the way that they quickly try to not let anything get out is so crazy, and they make so many mistakes while trying to cover it up. And I did include a short in our docket. We can go through it later. That explains a little bit what happened with the cover up.
Oh, absolutely. We'll take a look at everything on there.
Yeah.
Saw says, I care more about those poor rabbits. Look how much shit Hassan has gotten over shocking his dog. I'm not going to give Emiru a pass over her neglect of her rabbits. Well, if there's actual proof that she did neglect her rabbits, you know what? I'll say the exact same. I'll be right there with you.
100%, yeah.
I mean, until we see that portion, that's something that I'm not ready to pull the trigger on just yet.
The thing that's crazy as well here, right, is that you have these SA allegations, right? And these are very serious things. All of a sudden, the other person comes back with like, oh, you did this to your rabbits, and you did this when you didn't cook that day when I was sick. And, you know, there's all these things that come back at you that have nothing to do with the SA, because they're trying to like completely
obfuscate.
Make that other person a bad person. Yeah.
Yeah, they're trying to get away from their own thing. I mean, here's the thing. Two things can be true at the same time. Potentially, Emiru could have neglected her rabbits, and Mizkif could have assaulted her. Like, both things can be true.
I mean, like I said, all that's public. You can find all that, see, like, what I said during that, everything. After that happened, his behavior started getting a lot worse, which, I mean, I suppose it makes sense. You know, he was very stressed. A lot of stuff was happening, but the bad behavior was ramping up, and I feel like it's so apparent. If you you go back and watch anything from that time, I tried so hard to help him and be there for him because I really believed in him, and I wanted him to, get better and get back on his feet and be the person that, I always believed that he was. But that, unfortunately, did not really happen. For a long time, I think about a year and a half from when that all happened, it was kind of like slow things getting worse. But I mean, honestly, I'm not even gonna bother going into the details of all of that because there's just too much to cover, and it's honestly kind of not really relevant to the rest of what I'm saying because the rest of what I want to say is a lot worse.
You can't fix someone who doesn't want to be saved.
There was a point where things really took a turn for the worst. Like, it felt like, like a very delicate branch just kind of snapped. So, and again, a lot of people are like vaguely aware of this, but I'll explain it for people who aren't, chronically tapped into all that stuff. So for a long time after the cover-up allegations happened, and he was like starting to kind of struggle on his stream. He never wanted to stream at the same time as me. Like, we really avoided it. And to me at the time, it made sense because, you know, I was like, well, of course, like, you know, we share a lot of community members. If we're live at separate times, we're both going to perform better. You know, it makes sense. But, yeah, we were never really live doing the same thing at the same time for a long time, with the exception of, like, things like events or sponsors or, like, you know, just special things. For a very long time. And a lot of you guys probably noticed that I would only usually stream on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays. That was, because of him. And now I stream whenever I want, but the first time that we ever streamed at the same time was for the 2024 Rust Kingdoms event on Twitch. We were sharing drops, so it was the first time in a very long time that we were both going to be live at the same time doing the same thing, basically. I know you're probably like, what the fuck does that have to do with anything? But it'll make sense in a bit. So I'm live, he's live, we're both streaming, and like I said, you can go find all of this. This is public, there are clips of this. We're both streaming the Rust event, and I thought it was going really well. I thought everyone was having fun. I was like, oh, this is great. Everyone's, you know, doing the same thing at the same time. We're all hanging out, you know, we're gonna have fun. Like, I was...
This is the resurfaced clip that she's talking about here, where they're all streaming at the same time. She ends up getting more. Okay, once she finishes this, we'll take a look at that clip just to show the audience what she's talking about.
Really, really excited. And then I start seeing in my chat, people start saying unofficial Miz raid, and I'm like, what does that mean? And then I check my Discord messages, and he's messaging me. He's saying like, Emmy, you know, I'm gonna kill myself. I waited. I'm gonna KMS. I waited so long for this, etc. And basically he was upset because I had higher viewership than him. That's literally it. I had higher viewership than him, and like.
Okay, so I do have the clip already queued up over here, so we could take a look at this. Shout out to Asmongold for this. That's crazy. Okay, so that was the portion I did not know about him like messaging her behind the scenes, being like, "I'm gonna murk myself," because you have that's wild behavior.
It gets worse. It gets worse. He starts
I
knocking on the door, dude. Oh Lord.
I can so I can imagine. All right.
Oh, this is a
context. Emiru exposed how Mizkif was abusive and controlling her every move during their relationship, where people literally found the exact moment on stream she was talking about.
And then I check my Discord messages, and he's messaging me, you know, I'm gonna kill myself. Basically, he was upset because I had higher viewership than him.
Here we go.
Look at those numbers.
That's not even that big. This was 6,000 more than him? Come on,
no, but
dude.
There's no way that she's allowed to have more. He's clearly better, right? There's no way this girl's woman.
This woman in a man's space.
Exactly.
I'm big bad Mizkif.
It has to be 6,000 difference, but to the lower side. You know?
Right.
Never up.
How dare you try to succeed?
Oh my God.
Don't you know this is a man's world? Jesus Christ.
And he's like having that face, you know, like super.
All right, chat. I'll see you guys later.
Big,
probably tonight, if not tomorrow.
What does unofficial Miz raid mean?
It's just like
basically, Mizkif ended his stream because he had lower viewership, and his chatters joined Emiru's stream, while he was messaging her that he wanted to zap himself.
messaging her while she's live.
Yeah.
All right, how relevant right there to zap himself. That's crazy. That's absolute. That's bonkers, man. I can't.
Like the thing is, as a streamer, he knows exactly how stressful it can be while you're live to get news, right? And he is doing that to her. Messaging her while she's supposed to be entertaining her audience and telling her that he's gonna. Oh Lord, I swear.
And then he goes from doing it on Discord to doing it in real life. Like he's going around hitting the walls and being like, oh, rah, rah, rah. And it's like, bro, so it's a 6,000 viewer difference. And now guess what? It's a freaking 19,000 viewer difference. Like, because you ended your stream. Like, oh my God. It's not that important, man. He's already like a millionaire at this point too.
And apparently it was like the first one that they did at the same time since a long time, right? So literally the first chance he gets, he does that crap. The first chance.
And it's gotta be like scary at that point too, because it's like, imagine if they ever try and do it again. I mean, she's gotta have PTSD. She's like, we're never streaming again. We can't. And then you're gonna have the fans being like, hey, when are we gonna get another collab? When are we gonna get another collab? And you gotta come up with excuses.
Horrible.
That's just, and then you got to go sleep next to that at night. Fuck that.
Exactly. Oh man.
You got more hours of sleep than I did. Bam, bam. Like,
murdered. Like we haven't pillaged.
You hear it? You see her trying to keep it together. He's slamming the door.
Flinches.
Oh my! It's like reminiscent of Ed, and Eddie when Ed was a woodpecker. It's just boom, boom, boom. Just Jesus Christ! That's the fact that it's so loud for the mic, because most streamers have like noise canceling mic like settings like mine does, and I assume yours does too. So where it's like in the general vicinity of the microphone. So he must have been freaking going around. Hitting everything, slamming doors. That's just crazy. Anyone ever tells you that, just reply, it was good knowing you. Yeah, exactly. Critical. Oh my gosh. Freaking manlit.
Go to the restroom real quick.
I'm stuck in here. Okay.
So just scare. Yeah.
I actually downloaded her VOD and confirmed how she left for 20 minutes, then came back completely overwhelmed because that schizo was spamming her, saying he wanted to kill himself while punching her door, all because she had higher views.
Oh, he was hitting her door. Okay, that's why it was so loud. Jesus. Imagine just trying to have a stream and somebody's over there just bashing on your freaking door, man. God.
Yeah, I mean, your partner, you know?
Yeah.
Like at the same time, you're like worried if is he actually going to do something or not? It's horrible. I can't even imagine.
Because because it's like, what happens if he busts into the door? It's like it's live and everything. You're not thinking, oh, end the stream or anything. That's crazy. And she looks like she's about to have a complete mental break right here.
Viewership.
But all right, I'm gonna log out for now, but I'll probably come back later.
This is when she
jumped, punching her door, all because she had higher viewership.
Jesus.
All right, I'm gonna log out for now, but I'll probably come back later.
This is when she stopped.
And if not, tomorrow my normal time.
Which she didn't do. Yeah, I actually kept going back and forth, slamming the door because you didn't get big enough for that. Yeah. Man.
Like we haven't pillaged.
Jeez.
I'm ashamed that the situations got so bad.
Okay, all right, shut up, Mizkif. We'll see. Yeah, that'll be later. Okay. Of all the toxic relations I've ever had, I've never had somebody like hit like a wall or any. I've had stuff thrown at me and I've been hit before, but I've never had somebody like try and break down my fucking door or something like that. That's
so violent.
It is. It's violent, and not only that, but that falls under abuse as well. Like, jeez, the dude's and the worst part about it, he's like $1.25 soaking wet or something, man. It's always these small dudes, I swear. It's always these tiny little midgets. Well, I shouldn't say midgets, but still, it's these tiny guys, man, with the biggest anger issues.
Like I said, this is during an event, so there were drops. Like everyone knows when there's drops, like it's not even fucking real. But yeah, he starts messaging me. He's really upset.
Had higher viewership
I
than
tried
normal.
to tell him, I was like, bro, you should come back and play. Everyone's having fun. Everyone's like wondering where you are. But yeah, he ended his stream. And then I'm still live, trying to act like nothing's wrong. And in that house, I had a glass door so I could like see this was happening.
Oh, that's even worse. Because now you're staring at the person who's doing this. Like you can look and see him actually. Like, God, I can only imagine the like murder in his eyes. God, dude. And it was just the two of them too. Ain't nobody else was there. That's talk about being a prisoner in your own home. That's crazy.
Oh, well, one thing, Plex. I see this little line on your stream. If you like from my camera, I think. So if you, I think you hold Alt or Control, you can drag it and it cuts that part.
I see what you're saying. Let me hear Alt or Control. Let's see. Control.
Yeah.
Nope, I'm moving you around. Let me see.
Okay,
Alt.
so it must be Alt.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Did it cut it? Yeah.
I see what you're saying. Yeah. To be able to crop you.
Yeah,
There
yeah,
you
yeah.
go. All right. We got this. We got this. Professional streamers. Professional.
Yeah.
Jinx. Critical thinking. I would bet he did not have a dad in his life. I was never told no by, or never told no by his mom, just giving everything. You know what? It kind of goes with 78 Falcon. If he was an only child and that was the life that he had growing up where he was never told no, it makes sense. Because it's like, this is the type of stuff that develops like, again, like freaking Vixie said, is these guys are still young 20s, like they're younger than me. So it's not something that just develops in your late 20s.
Yeah. It does make me wonder too, like the parenting and everything. Yeah, it does make me think that too.
And then you can see that Emiru's like so like I don't want to say skittish, but very reserved. So it seems like with her growing up, her whole thing was kind of almost like how I kind of grew up, was like, don't talk unless you're talked to, like, you know, address all adults with respect, like, et cetera, you sit at that table, this is the adults table, et cetera. But Mizkif, he's just over there just slamming doors, kicking puppies and stuff, just joking. I have no evidence of that last part. Okay, so
He was walking behind me, making sure that I knew he was there. And by the way, so
doing his best Michael Myers
there were
impression.
many ways out of that house.
Damn.
If he wanted to leave the house that were closer to his stream room, he intentionally chose the door that was right by my room.
I know one way he could have been out of that house, thrown out the window. Because I'm telling you, if I was there, he would have gotten that Jazz from Fresh Prince treatment. I would have thrown him straight out the door. It would have been that ragdoll physics from the 90s, man. I can't stand, even if it's not a female. Like if it's a female to a dude, or a dude to a female, or dude to dude, or female to female, I'm like, man, don't turn around and try and impose your will just because you're bigger and this person's like meek and reserved. Like, get out of here. Everyone's a bully till they meet a bigger bully. So
I feel like that's pretty apparent, at least to me. He starts walking behind my stream and slamming the door so loud that my noise gate can pick it up. So even people on my stream are able to hear this is happening. And he slams it so hard and so many times that the front door literally broke. The lock did not work anymore. It didn't work for months, and it would just make this horrible sound that I would have to hear like every fucking day. But anyway, so I hear him back there doing this, and I'm like, what the fuck is going on? So I tell my stream, I'm like, hey, guys, I'll be right back. I get up and I go talk to him, and I'm like, hey, what's going on? And he's like, Emmy, like, I hate all you guys. Like, all you guys do is just take from me, and like, I'm just done. Like, I'm just done. And I was like, is this like really happening because of rush drops? And he was like, I don't know what else to do. He was like going off on me, like basically saying that
he has a major complex.
And I was like, well, I don't know what to do now. And he was like,
that's the thing. Like his whole thing is, oh, you guys take from me. I'm the best streamer. I'm the big top dog. You guys are stealing my views, my content, my da-da-da-da-da.
So crazy.
It's like, he's got that short dude complex. That's literally what it is. Along with this.
It's crazy because he did also not make it alone. That's the thing, right? He was like Ice Poseidon's cameraman. That's how he got his start.
Well, yeah, and then he, joins up in freaking OTK, and then he has all these other bigger streamers than him at the time. And it's,
so how does he think that all the viewers belong to him? Like, what is up with that?
It's the definition of pulling the ladder up. Is literally what it is. It's pulling the ladder up. Now that I've made it, nobody else can be better than me or have higher views than me. Especially not if I'm dating them, which is crazy.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Not a woman, that's for sure.
Not a woman, not in these parts. Trying to be anything more. Oh my gosh.
Streams that people don't know anything's wrong. And I stop in the bathroom outside my stream room, and I'm like, checking my makeup, trying to make sure people can't tell that I was like crying. And I'm only in there for like 30 seconds, and he comes and like looms in the doorway. He's like, what are you doing? And I'm like, oh, I'm just checking my makeup. So I go back and I stream for a couple hours to finish the stream. Do my best to just like, carry on the show basically. And yeah, after that, like I said, was when things started to get really fucking bad. It was like something just snapped.
Well, I want to mention something.
Go for it.
The thing here also that I'm thinking about now is that he said that he was going to, end himself, right?
Right.
And it must not have been the first time he said that because she did not take it seriously. She kept streaming, right? So that makes me think, okay, he's done this before. Because
it's kind of it's kind of like the abuser go-to thing, though. You know,
it is.
Like I'm gonna end myself if you don't take me back. I'm gonna end myself if you don't tell them this. If I'm gonna eventually, I'm sure it gets to a point where you're just like, all right, buddy, you do it. I'm gonna keep playing Rust. Like record it, record it. We'll get a lot of views off of it. Back when live leaks was a thing.
Oh my gosh.
You won't believe what this streamer did. Just top 10 crazy moments on Twitch.
For the rest of the week, he streamed the Rust event. He got all the drop viewers. I'm sure he was very happy. I mean, good for him.
Fuck him.
And during that time, I obviously was like thinking and processing a lot of what happened. But I mean, it was a lot because this person was at the time like kind of it was like my partner and my best friend and like the only person that like I really talked to ever, or like at least off stream. So I mean, it was just very, it was a lot. But the very next stream, I went live.
Well, it's the whole reason why she made the excuses, because that was her person. You know, I mean, we've all done it before with somebody, whether it was a parent or a significant other or something, where it's like, you kind of give them, like you said, that leeway to, it's like, okay, you screwed up here and we can fix this. We can fix this. And eventually it gets to the point where you have to sit down and be like, okay, we can't fix this. I can't fix this. Like the only way to fix this is distance. So
about a week after that, and I announced that I was planning to move because I knew that I would have to move. So I was like, okay, I have to go live and say this so that, kind of force myself to commit to it. Right? Does that make sense? Obviously, I didn't move out right away, but after like all of that Rust stuff happened was when the other domestic abuse stuff really started. He would destroy furniture in front of me. He would throw things in front of me and near me. Destroy walls. Again, you can go see this in some of his VODs in his bedroom, the holes in the wall. There would be times where he was upset at me, and I would go to my stream room and literally lock myself in to get away from him, and he would be banging on the door and screaming at me.
Now, this does actually make sense because she's saying she's going to move. And in his mind, he's like losing control of her. Like he's not going to be able to control her anymore. He's not going to have her there. And I'm sure he was fearful that she was going to tell somebody or was telling somebody. So, and that's the biggest thing about abusers is it's the control. It's all about control. So when they feel like they're losing it, they're going to ramp it up even more. So I can only imagine how like terrified she was during this time.
And at the time, he also would more often do things like going, like if we were driving in the car together, he would be going like 150 miles an hour. And like one time he even said like, well, now we're both going to die, like threatening to kill both of us.
Oh, Jesus.
And this wasn't like even necessarily because of me or like because of something I did a lot of the time. Like one of the times that it happened, it was because we were just getting food and he was on his phone and he saw that Mr. Beast had put out a video and Mr. Beast had invited another streamer and he was like, oh, Mr. Beast invited this guy to his video, not me. And I was like, oh, well, like,
my God.
Yeah, I guess so. Which led to him going 150 miles per hour in the car and talking about killing himself while doing it.
Okay, all right. There is something mentally disturbed with this man. He's gonna pick somebody other than moi, other than me. Like,
Mr. Beast and I are such good friends. How could he? I mean, what the
That's crazy, man.
That's insane.
I could never.
Every opportunity that comes by, it's his,
It's
know?
his. Yeah.
Oh my God.
This man's just like, that's mine. That's mine. What's yours is mine, and what's mine is mine. And what's everybody else's is also mine. So it's like, geez, but this dude, lock him up in a ward or something. He needs to be in a squishy room. God.
Then at home, other things would happen. Like I'd be trying to sleep and he would scream at me and say that it was all my fault that he felt insecure. There was a time that I walked into a room that he was in, and as soon as he saw me there, he threw his phone at the dresser and started yelling because because I had posted a YouTube video within the same couple of days as him, and
Oh
mine
my
was doing
God.
better. So basically, I felt
This is like reverse Johnny Depp Amber Heard streamers edition. Like the anger and the entitlement of Amber Heard, but in Mizkif's body. That's crazy. You're doing better numbers than me for a woman. And now it's like, this is why they say, like, if you're going to be a streamer or an internet personality, it's better to choose your dating pool outside of that. And that's difficult to do, considering, you know, that's going to be your general circle of people and friends.
That's the thing too, right? Because both of them stream like, I don't know how many hours a day, right? There's no real time to go anywhere or do anything or have any other social life besides the one that you built online. So like, it's so hard to like,
and it kind of goes back to what you were saying about having the online persona and then the offline persona. So it's like what you see online is 100% never always going to be real people. Like, you know, it's honesty there. So it's like you expect them to possibly be more well-mannered off screen than they are, you know, in order to get those clicks doing all the crazy stuff. But that sucks.
But like, I was kind of stuck in a loop where I felt like I had to constantly perform and like prove my value to not be thrown away. But at the same time, if I ever performed too well, I was going to be punished for it. And it just felt like a very rough situation to be stuck in because, I mean, streaming is my hobby and my job. Like, it's a huge part of my life, even before, you know, I met him and became like a larger creator. And I remember thinking all the time how it felt like he hated me, but he still wanted me around for his channel and like his thumbnails and everything. And this is still before I moved out. There was a time where
he wanted you around before an outlet. Like, you showed that, like, in my personal opinion, she showed that she would tolerate it, and whenever show somebody who's like that you'll tolerate it, they're just gonna keep on applying it. So that's
the entitlement goes so far that at this point he feels like he owns her, right?
Yes, exactly. He owns her views, her channel, her everything. So it's terrible. Mono, fun fact, Kmplexity's beard is just for TLO, and he takes it off when stream/video ends. It's part of his online persona. You know,
I can see that, honestly.
You're not entirely wrong, Mono, because when I did shave a few months ago, everything was recorded. I waited for that boy to grow back.
it was the tension in the house was so unbearable that I would sneak out and I would sneak into Esfan's house using my code. And Esfan didn't know why I was doing this. He saw me a couple times. I'd be like, oh, I'm just gonna go take a nap in your guest room. He'd be like, yeah, that's fine. I would sneak into Esfan's house just to have some time of like peace and quiet. But eventually he figured out where I was going, and he would go over to Esfan's house to keep telling me off.
Jesus. Okay, hold on. But okay, so if she's going over to another creator's home and he's doing his there, I'm sorry, but if that creator's not doing or saying anything, and again, she hasn't, I just stopped it right now. Maybe I'm pause Andying, but if that is me and somebody's knocking on my door and they're trying to berate their whoever, I'm like, no, you're not making it through the door. Like, bro, go somewhere else. Like, y'all need some space here. Like, I hope she says he didn't let her in or him in or something of that nature, because that's you're backstabbing your friend. They're coming to you for help, for a safe place, and you're like, hey, let me just let the abuser in. Like, what the hell?
Yeah. Well, she might not be saying why she's there, right? So
True, but she did say that he would come over to continue to like berate her. So unless the dude's living in like a freaking mansion or something, or he leaves every single time Mizkif comes over, it's a little hard to explain how they didn't hear what was going on. And at least in my opinion, again, I paused it early on.
And there was a time that he did it, and I was laying in the guest room bed, and one of the roommates in that house had come to see like why I was crying, and they were standing in the corner, and he came in, and he was very physically aggressive. He was like, Emmy, like, what are you doing? Like, angry. And then as soon as he turned and saw this other person standing there, he instantly deflated and changed his tone. He was like, "Oh, Emmy, I was wondering where you were. Like, are you coming home?"
Yeah.
Throw them away. Throw all of them away. Throw it. Nah, dude, I've been in that situation one too many times. Throw the whole person away. That's just because they only want to do it when there's not an audience. The moment there's an audience, it's there's a witness. Somebody else who I can't control that might say something. That's just deplorable. But damn it, because then I'm thinking to myself, like, if that's me, I'm throwing them out, but I'm probably not going to say anything either because, again, it's her story to tell, not mine.
Yeah. That roommate, later asked me about it. They're like, "What the fuck was that? Like, are you okay?" And I was just like, "Oh, it's nothing," because I felt like a lot of the reason that I didn't tell the people around me was because I felt like no one would understand, or even if they understood, it would just be a burden to them because all of our streams and social circles and communities are so intertwined. I was like, maybe it's just better for me to deal with this and hope things get better, basically. I honestly don't even remember what the final straw was that I finally was like, okay, it's time to go. I prepared the house that I lived in before this one, pretty much immediately after the breaking the front door thing happened, but I was still scared and unsure. So I don't remember what the final straw was, but I remember the day I took Cheddar to the house, because he just randomly started screaming at Cheddar and was like, "Get that fucking cat out of my house." So I just grabbed Cheddar and put him in my car.
I thought it was a
grabbed
person.
Grabbed the litter box and took him there, and I just left him there and never took him back to that house. And then I think within several days after that was when I finally moved out. It was on very short notice. Like I said, I don't even remember what the final straw was because so many things happened, but there was a time when I just knew.
A cat would do it for me.
Called
Jesus.
some movers.
Them hating the cat. Okay, I was gonna say.
Yeah. Because as soon as you say "get this cat out of the house" and be aggressive towards the cat, no way, man. That cat's not staying there, and neither am I. It's like
any animal. If you don't like animals, I'm sorry. There's something. It's one thing if you're allergic to them or something. It's another thing if you're "get that fucking cat out of here." It's okay, we're all leaving.
We're all gonna go now. But
it's just gonna be that meme. It's in front of the cat.
First I said, "Hey, can you come tomorrow?" And they're like, "Yeah." And then I literally moved the next day. Moving out into the last house that I lived in was a huge step mentally because, like I said, a big part of why I moved into the first house in Texas in the first place was because I felt like it was the safest option for me because, I am a girl where it's kind of scary for me to be living alone. So it was very hard. And at the time, even though all these other things had already happened, I was very hopeful that me and him could be cordial and eventually things would be fine, at least publicly, for stream reasons that, everyone could just keep streaming nothing had happened. And, at the time I thought that would be the best thing to do. And I felt like if I separated myself from him without explaining anything, people that watched us wouldn't understand and would attack me. I was it ended up happening anyway, so.
And see, that's the thing. Like what I said is that Mizkif was one of those huge streamers back in the day where if he said something, it was the only truth. And when you have such a big, rabid fan base like that, it's almost all the time. It's whoever the bigger content creator is, if you end up breaking up with somebody, whoever has the smaller audience, it's always their fault in the audience's eyes. And that's just the power he had being, such a large creator.
Yeah. But, after I moved out, we, like I said, still kept in contact. I had hope that somehow things would get better. He would always beg for me to come back, and he would promise therapy and change and, even talk to other people and, kind of present, oh, I want to change. I want to be better for Emmy or whatever, There was, a short period in October where we had broken up because, honestly, it doesn't matter now. And when that happened, I honestly felt relieved because I was like, okay, finally, it's on his terms. So that means he'll be satisfied and he'll be able to say it was his choice and he'll leave me alone. because whenever I would try to push for it, it just felt like I couldn't like really sever it, if that makes sense. But I mean, obviously, hence me doing the stream, that was not the end of it. A week after this breakup, he asked to come over to my house and talk for closure.
That man was hoping to get it in one more time. That's what it is. that man was hoping to get it in. Listen, anytime, I don't care if you're a man or a woman, anytime you're like, can I come over for closure? They are almost always hoping to get it in one more time. At least that's been my experience.
Well, women in my experience are a bit more emotional than that. So
True.
I can imagine that women might want, to actually have a conversation about it and ask some
hope.
questions.
Yeah.
And
I don't know. Personally,
however,
you're not wrong. I mean, to me personally, it's like it is one thing to have a there is a big difference between having like a conversation on the phone or FaceTime versus in person. But at the same time, it's like if I'm breaking up with somebody and I'm done with them, it's like what do you need to tell me face to face that you can't over the phone? At least that's my thought process.
Not for me, because for me, after a relationship, depending on how it ends, right?
True.
You were in a relationship with this person. And, you were very good friends, best friends, probably partners. Perhaps you thought it was for life, and so this person was a big part of your life for a long time. So
Yeah.
I always try to transition into a friendship. So for me, having a conversation in person after, if you have some questions or whatever it might be, that is still something that can happen.
That is
it's not
fair.
the craziest thing.
Yeah. No, I agree with you. And I'll say this, shout out to Grim. He says, "Oh God, he's just as bad as my ex-wife. She tried the same bait." So listen, it might be more rare for females to do it.
Oh, it does happen for sure. I get it.
He came to my house, and I was crying like crazy because the emotions were just very high, because I was dealing with a lot of major shifts in my life as a result of me attempting to start to try to distance myself from him. So yeah, we were just talking and I was crying a lot. He started to try to comfort me by hugging me while I was sitting on the couch and holding me really close to him. And when this was happening, we hadn't talked in quite a while, and I'm usually very uncomfortable with being touched a lot by people that I'm not in a relationship with. But I let him hold me while I was crying. And he started kissing me in my face, and I let him do it. I was still sobbing a lot. And then, suddenly, he tried to climb on top of me and aggressively shoved his hand down my pants. And, I screamed. Yeah. And when I screamed, he jumped off me like a cat, like... And, instead of apologizing or checking if I was okay, he said, "I feel weird now. I feel like I did something wrong. I have to go." And he immediately left my house while I was still...
Okay. See, nail on the head. Nail on the head. The dude, he tried to get it in one more time. That's literally what it was.
She's crying?
Yes.
Was rolling her eyes out?
Oh my gosh.
God.
That's okay. Oh,
Jesus.
As of right now, thank you for the 199 critical thinking. As of right now,
what is that thumbs up critical thinking? What is that thumbs up?
He's like, Dean, you called it. I'm gonna take it as that's a thumbs up. I called it, not a thumbs up for.
All right, okay, let's go with that.
Hey, it makes him look good. Okay, is this essay? The 100%.
I don't know. Maybe it's not the end of the story.
Maybe it's not. But as of right now, it's one bad intention, and dude did not in any way, shape, or form read the freaking room. He was one track mind.
Yeah.
He went over there with bad intentions.
It's essay because it is sexual, right? And it wasn't advanced that she was not wanting at all. So, yeah.
I do see my issue there is it's more. Yeah, I agree. Right. It's not something that you would want, something you would plan. But the simple fact that he got up and left because of that is what really lets me like say yes. because if that wasn't all he wanted, he would have just been like, oh my God, I'm so sorry, I apologize, like, you know what, you're like, let me just like move over here, let's continue to talk, I like emotions ran high, blah 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 blah, right? So the fact that he just got up and left, he was like, oh, you ain't giving it up, all right, deuces. Like that's the biggest issue here. he's trying to get it in with this chick while she's sobbing. Like I've been in plenty of long-term relationships. I've never tried making out with my girl while she's crying. Maybe like a peck on the cheek or something.
That's like a sick thing. That's when that situation is turning you on. That's like insane, right? That's sick.
I can only imagine what like he watches on the hub, man. Jesus Christ.
Right?
Oh my God.
The thing is, it must have been so aggressive as well, because the fact that she screamed, right? Yeah, it's. Yeah.
I mean, I don't even think it would need to be aggressive at all. I mean, I believe her when she says it was. I don't think it need to be aggressive at all, because if I was in that situation, I'm bawling my eyes out.
No,
and someone's just like grabbing him. I'm like, yo, what the like? I'm about to go off. I'm about to do some Fresh Prince of Bel-Air stuff again. Throw you right out the window. That's crazy. Oh my gosh. And then the worst part about it is like just how dirty you feel afterwards. Like,
yeah.
Crying.
Oh yeah.
Without checking if I was okay or anything. And at the time, I was still making excuses for him, and I was still afraid of causing trouble for other streamers around us, or like, making things weird for viewers. I know that probably sounds crazy, but like I just felt this pressure, like I had to try to keep things together, if that makes sense. I felt like I'd cause trouble for so many other people if I ever said anything bad about him, or if I caused rifts in our friend group or streamer group. I tried to stay on good terms with him and hold everything in, and also I still cared about him a lot, and I still at that point had hope that things would get better, and that he would improve. And he'd also always hammer into me how he never physically abused me because he never hit me, and he would coach me and tell me to tell people or other streamers who were asking about it because they were concerned. He would say, tell them that I never hit you. Make sure that they know that I never hit you.
I mean, if you got to focus on the fact that you never hit the person, there's an issue right there. It's not, I never physically abused you. It's, I never abused you at all. Like, that's what your response needs. Like that's what it needs to be. That's what reality needs to be. Like, I can solemnly say.
I think that's what they think they're saying, though.
Yeah.
I think that's what they think they're doing. I think when they say that, oh, I've never actually physically hit you, I think to them, that means that they've never abused them. And so that's why they cling on to that.
But you see, that's where being like a commentary style person is, that's where you catch those things where it's like, well, I never physically abused them. It's like, okay, so you abuse them, just not physically.
Yeah.
Because there's other types of abuse, emotional, there's physical, sexual, and then you also can be physically abusive, just not towards them. The punching, the throwing of the phone, all this, that, and the third, that's all abuse. So, yeah.
Around the same time, this was during OnlyFans 2, so I guess like December-ish. He would often message me in the middle of my streams and berate me.
Oh God.
For things like playing the same class as him in WoW, because he thought it would make people think that I was better than him.
Bro.
What? What?
Dude, this man has such an ego on him. That's disgusting.
Dude. Oh my God.
Okay, as a dude who's been gaming for like 20-ish years or so, if my homeboy or somebody, a female, whatever, is playing a character as me and they're better at it, I'm like, all right, cool. I'm gonna find another character. I'm gonna be better in this class or something. Like, it's not that freaking like serious, man. Oh my goodness, he has mental issues.
And again, like I said earlier, I felt like I was stuck in a constant loop where I had to perform well to not be thrown away. But if I performed too well, I was going to be punished. And
he's 30.
Actually wanted to show some of those messages. Because obviously a lot of these things, I'm not going to fully read these out. Because I honestly just don't want to read them out, but I feel like I want to show them to like kind of
I'll read them.
show what I'm saying.
Oh my god,
And,
I can already see.
I am
Oh,
planning
Jesus.
to probably post the
Probably skip ahead just a little here until once she's got it
the Emmy
all.
is so much
Yeah.
better. Tank Emmy, do it. Let me handle all the hate, the criticism. That you're worse than Emmys. The Emmy is so much better. The people saying you're better in every chat. The comparison says nobody will ever be on my side. Let me deal with it. You have fun. I asked you not to become a tank. You didn't listen. And now it's the classic, what was I supposed to do? I'm not dealing with this. And
Dude, oh my god, this is bringing back memories of freaking paragraphs of text messages after an argument, and it's like, can you please just go to bed? Like you'll feel better in the morning. Like just go, like just fucking go to sleep. Like the argument's been over for hours at this point.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
like I said, you can go find the stream. But for context, I was playing Warrior in World of Warcraft in like a level 24 dungeon. It was like Silverpine. Like it was just like, it wasn't even like, it was like dog shit gameplay, I'm gonna be honest. Like, so yeah. Yeah, yeah, you can read that later, I suppose, if
I know I said that I'll read them, but just to not have the stream be like 4 hours long, I could probably circle back to it on another video.
Good point. Good point.
Yeah, like I said before, hold on. I was constantly trying so hard to compromise with him because I wanted to be cool and I wanted us to be able to coexist in the same streaming sphere. But I felt like I could never win, and he hated my whole existence. Like ever since that one stream where I had like a little bit more viewers than him. And he would say that it was my fault that his stream was dying because most of his viewers liked me, and whenever he hit on another girl, they would be confused or not take it seriously because they knew that me and him were together privately. And he said if he would be able to hit on
What? Wait, let her finish that sentence. I'm really confused.
Because they're broken up at this point. So what she's saying is that if he was hitting on another girl on stream, viewers would be confused because they thought they were still together. At least that's what I'm thinking publicly.
They hadn't officially. Okay.
I'll rewind to like 10, 15 so that way.
And he would say that it was my fault that his stream was dying because most of his viewers liked me, and whenever he hit on another girl, they would be confused or not take it seriously because they knew that me and him were together privately. And he said if he would be able to hit on other girls and convince them that it was real, he would get his career back.
Okay.
Yes, it's the streamer meta. It's the streamer meta. Thank you, Critical, for the 5. So it's like most female streamers, the big reason why they don't talk about having like a significant other is because like, you know, that male audience hoping to get out of the chat and
I
into
might
the
be
bedroom.
familiar with this.
Just a wee bit familiar with it, huh? You know what they say about big donors, right? Like,
oh God, no.
So I think that's
okay.
Go ahead.
What is he saying exactly?
So what she said is that he's saying if he can convince his audience that he's in a relationship with another streamer, he'll stop basically having the audience be split between him and Emiru, and they'll stop watching her and come back to him. At least that's what I'm gathering from it, because now you'll have a new streaming couple. Emiru can go on her own and he'll stop splitting the audience with her. That's my understanding.
Okay, but for that to happen, it would be necessary for him to flirt with another girl, right?
Yes,
that's what he's saying. Okay,
it would also have to be public that they were no longer together too, because people still like they're still together at this point. So
okay,
that was like started within the last couple of weeks that we.
Can you imagine though? That's so weird for an audience that has seen these two people together, and all of a sudden you're flirting with other girls, and you've not made public that you're not together anymore. That's so confusing for an audience, and it makes you look like such an asshole as well, right?
Yes, exactly. Wow. 78 Falcon. They do the girlfriend experience. Yep. That's 100%. Yeah.
I don't know what you're talking about. Good for please.
you got to hit that 7K first, right? And then
Oh, Jesus.
once you get to 10K, then it's like, okay, actual.
We spoke to each other. He started saying terrible things to me about other streamers in Austin. In particular, one specific streamer who I know there's a lot of people that know he has beef with certain streamers. It was not one of those streamers. It was someone who, to this day, has been nothing but nice to him.
That makes sense. That makes 100% sense. And the whole reason for it is a lot of the time people are going to be like, this is a good guy. This is a good guy. And when you're this like drowned in freaking anger and all that, you get mad that people, like somebody's actually nice. Like you get mad that somebody's a good person.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, I'm not, so fuck you. All right, good to know. That wasn't a terrible 7K joke. It wasn't the worst one out there, okay?
He's been making them too, so
Yeah.
that's why he's saying that.
I would say horrible things about this person, like about them and their stream, and it was very hard to listen to. And just in general, he would say horrible things about other streamers in Austin, like, I quote, "I hate everyone here. You are all useless to me. You're worthless to me because it does nothing for my stream anymore to collab with any of you."
Jeez.
And him saying that
High
was
horse.
the final straw for me. The day that he said that to me about other people was the first day that I ever, for the first time, started to ignore his calls and messages. And because of that, he even threatened to come to my house if I didn't answer. But I did end up calling him back, and I
Okay. That's why I keep the wireless hole puncher in my desk. Someone's gonna threaten to come to my house. I'm telling you, I'm shooting through the door. Like, that's crazy. That level of like ownership that he thinks he has over her. That's just ugh.
spoke to him,
100%.
and I basically told him that I felt like I could finally see things for what they were. And he started panicking, and he was super apologetic, and he was saying he didn't want to lose me, which wasn't the first time that he like did something like that and was like, you know, basically begging me not to leave.
He sounds like bipolar.
But that was definitely the most extreme time. And again, like I said, I always had the hope that things would be cordial, or that, you know, we could be fine with each other. So I agreed, and we agreed we were going to talk about all of that. We talked about it about a week later, and instead of apologizing for anything, he basically told me that he realized he needed to go to Japan and LA to get his viewership back up, and he was basically too young to focus on friendships and relationships. And,
I gotta chase this bag.
Dude, he's so emotionally immature. Like, what even is that?
POP, paper over pussy.
Oh my god.
Again, like when you're in your mid to late 20s, that's when you're supposed to be finding yourself. That's when you're supposed to be like creating this life you want in the 40, 50, you know, like, but his whole thing is, I need more viewers. I need more viewers. I need more viewers. I need more fame. I need more attention. Like, Jesus Christ.
I mean, I get it. When you're so focused on your streaming career, I get that the numbers are so important, but holy crap. Telling to your like before partner that, you know, you can't focus on friendships. You gotta go to Japan and LA.
No new friends. No new friends. Well, and it makes sense though, because he doesn't see them as friends. He sees them as stepping stools. He sees them as steps to more viewership and more notoriety. I get that.
And he couldn't get any from her anymore, so better move on.
Right. Got to move on. Got to get to the next one.
It was, I mean, despite everything, like I said, I still cared about him, so it was still hard, and I mean, it was like a mix of feelings, you know, like I was devastated, but I was also so relieved. But because of the past incidents during like other fights and times I would try to separate myself from him, past incidents during those times of him manipulating me into staying close with him and giving him more chances, sexually assaulting me, the abuse, and just him generally not being a very nice person. After that, I decided that the only solution and way for me to move forward, I made the hard decision, but I know now for sure the right one, was to finally completely cut contact with him. I knew it'd be very hard because our careers and our communities were so intertwined, but I knew that I had to do it and that there was no other choice. So I have not spoken to him since January of this year. It's been 10 months. But if you think that's the end, it is unfortunately not. I haven't spoken to him since January of this year. It only took a couple of weeks, but soon the messages started. He has attempted to contact me over 40 times individually this year in individual texts, Discord messages, Instagram DMs, and phone calls.
Okay. I terrible thing. Why isn't he blocked on everything though? Like, I get it, but like, if this was like, if I'm her, my initial thought, if I'm completely distancing myself, no longer interacting with him, I don't have your phone number anymore. I don't have you as a friend on anything. You're blocked on all socials, any way that you can get in contact with me, you're completely blocked. So that's
after dealing with someone who has like a million alts, I don't know if he might have used the alts. I don't know, or
True,
like trying to get a friend to contact. I don't know exactly if it was with his own accounts or not. But there's always a way, especially if they live nearby, and it's just you can't completely cut them off. If they want to say something, they're gonna say something.
You know what?
But I don't know if that's the case.
You know what? I slightly amend what I said because I have been I have broken up with somebody in the past before where I did have their number, and like after a couple of months they did hit me up and they were like, yo, look, I'm sorry. Like I did fuck up in our relationship. So maybe she was hoping for that call, that interaction. So.
And I'm just gonna show those.
Ooh, more receipts.
We're gonna pause this time and read some.
And at first,
if we can.
Yeah, that's very low res.
Yes, very tiny.
At first, it starts simple. Be confusing messages or like him expressing he was worried about things. Like at first, it wasn't anything weird.
Oh, there we go.
Okay, pause.
Oh, let me go back because she does get it. Okay. So
yeah, a little bit. Yeah.
Let me just. So this is him saying, "Can we please communicate so I don't feel isolated and hated by my own org, bro? See that he doesn't care about her. He cares about his appearance. That's all it is."
Like she hasn't even mentioned saying anything to the org, but yeah, it's because of the org. Jesus.
Yeah, it's all about his appearance. He goes on to say, I just want to be okay. I just want to be okay with each other. And I feel with our streams and lives, we shouldn't have this feeling. I come home and feel terrible. It feels so odd that I cannot talk to you or anyone and just know what's happening. And then it looks like 3 days later, he says, can you please respond? And then it looks like about 10 days later, I understand and we'll just have you alone. And we'll just leave you alone. But I really would appreciate. Hey, you never know. Just have her alone. Like he might have said that. But I really would appreciate if we can talk. I won't text you again. That's a bold-faced lie. After this, I really something because the little scroll is right there. Oh, I really want to talk if possible. Okay. And then he says, I know you don't want to hear from, Cap. I know you don't want to hear from me, but I can't just not message you. Bro, that's obsession. That's what that is. That's obsession. I still care about you. If you need to talk, I'm here. I'm so sorry shit like this happened. I'll be up all night if you need to talk. Can we please talk, Emmy? I'm so sorry for what I did. Can we talk? Question mark tomorrow. The first one is a little too, my eyesight ain't that good. Oh, hey, I found out you weren't invited to the party. I know you wouldn't want to go, but I didn't do invites. Oh my God. Again, he's worried about how he looks. He's like, look, I know you didn't get invited to the streamer party.
Make it a little less obvious.
Yeah, but it wasn't me. I wasn't the one who chose not to talk. You were invited, of course, and I hope you're doing okay. And one day we can talk. Emmy, can we please talk? I really need to tell you things. I'm so sorry for the past few months. I'm so sorry for so much that happened. I need this time to be alone. What?
What?
Let me just text you all month long and let you know I need to be alone. I need this time to be alone, but I really love you so much. I just need to know what being alone, and I learned I need you. What? I just needed to know what being alone, and I needed you. Okay, he probably was trying to say I just needed to be alone. He's doing the whole.
That's so crazy.
Yeah, he's flipping the script.
As if it was his choice. Yeah. As if it was his. Oh my god.
He's like, listen, Emmy, I really needed to be alone after abusing you for years. I needed to take time to find who's the real Mizkif. I don't want to be without you. I regret so much that I hurt you and I left, but I know I needed it, bro. Oh, but this is because
30-year-old talking. This is a 30-year-old writing this.
Yeah,
How?
that's crazy. And so the reason why he's saying this, if we remember, Emmy said that their actual breakup came from him. Like she tried breaking up with him multiple times, and when they finally broke up, it was his choice. So now he's trying to flip the script and be like, well, listen, I've been out here in Japan and nobody's tolerating me. So I just that's crazy. Oh, let's see. What's this next one? My God, it's a freaking great wall of text over here.
Yeah.
I really need to tell you things. I'm so sorry for the past. I already read that. Please call me. I haven't stopped thinking about you in months. I know what I want, and it's you and only you. I've been nothing but miserable without you. I love you, Emmy. And if you take me back, I want us to be a real relationship. I want us to go on dates, to live together, to plan our life. Okay.
He's so oblivious. He is so oblivious.
Listen, folks, I'm not saying you got to go, to the nth degree in a relationship, but if you don't have like date night or like something going on in your relationship to keep the spark there, like you're not doing it properly. Even if it's just hanging out, binge watching movies together and having a good time, like that's a date, in my opinion. That's a date. But I'm
really guessing if he says this, then they must not have been doing any of that, right?
That's what I'm saying. He's like, I want us to go on dates, which means they didn't do it while they were living together. Like, oh my gosh, that was a loveless relationship. Right, we got another one. I wrote out a lot of how I feel. I've been writing so much and learned so much about myself. I learned, you know what? I can stand for you to have 6,000 more viewers than me. I've learned I don't need to beat up a door.
He's not saying that. He's not saying that. I bet he's still...
And none of this is being replied to, which is insane.
Yeah.
Just please, if you can hear me out, I love you so much, Emmy. I've been crying every night without you. Keep crying. And I'm sorry I've done any of this. I've been so depressed without you. Just please call me. I'll be up. I will do anything for you. I will come home from Japan right now for you. Can you answer me, Emmy? Just at least tell me you moved on. Like, this is insanity. And this is... So the second text I read was February. We're now in March. We're at the end of March. That's crazy.
Still doesn't get a clue that she doesn't want to talk to you, man.
Oh. Okay. Oh my gosh, another great wall of text. Hey, I know it's been a while. Okay, so April was would you be willing to talk? So we left from March to April. Now we're in May. Hey, I know it's been a while. I just want to say that I'm going back to Austin next week, and I think that you and I should at least be able to talk and communicate with each other. I'm going to be also doing a lot of collabs, and I know you've been doing a lot of collabs lately, and I feel that we should be amicable. Bro, you don't get to ask that with each
No.
should be amicable with each other, so it's not weird because we're both now doing a lot of collabs, and I feel like it would be really weird considering we're both also in the same org that we're just not talking to each other at all and have zero communication. I want to come back and for us to at least be something.
This is not someone who loves or cares about you.
Facts, girl. Okay. I want to come back and for us to at least be okay. I don't want need to talk. All right. I don't want need to talk to you about anything in terms of relationship. I just want to talk to you in terms of business and also just overall collaboration. So I think we should have a conversation. If you can call me sometime this week, I think that would be great. Hope you're doing well. If we can't communicate and we're going to continue to not talk, this is only going to get weirder and weirder as we are both invited to the same things constantly. And we are both involved in Austin activities. It's best for both. Mono, shut up. This is crazy. This is absolute insane. This dude is literally like, he's writing his own, like, it goes from complete and utter love bombing to, hey, do it for the org. Hey, do it for the viewers. Like, forget all the abuse I've put you through and let's just, let's do it.
That's the thing. I think he's so oblivious to the things that he's done to her. Like, he has no idea what she's going through. And
that's why I say, that's why I say he's a mental case. Like, he probably honestly has convinced himself he didn't do anything wrong because it goes back to that whole tell them I didn't physically abuse you. And in his mind, as long as he didn't do that, he really didn't do anything wrong. That's a terrible clip. Nobody do that. Oh my goodness. Can you, this is Discord. Can you please answer the phone? Answer my phone. I'm sorry, not a day has gone by in these last 4 months where your final words to me haven't echoed in my heart. I walked out your door thinking I knew what I wanted, but I was wrong. I told myself I needed to be alone, that I had missed out on being single in my 30s. I convinced myself I needed space. Yeah. Freedom and distance. But the truth is, I was afraid of commitment, afraid of what it meant to truly let someone in, and someone as beautiful and kind as you. Okay.
Oh my God. That's not even the issue,
that's not the issue.
He's like, oh.
He's like, Emmy, I'm so sorry I didn't open up to you about my feelings while I was punching the door.
Right.
So I tried to protect myself in the worst way possible. I pushed you away. I told myself lies to justify. See, I was right. Yeah, we both were right. He convinced himself he didn't do anything wrong. Yeah. I said I was bored. Oh God. I said a relationship would hold me back. I said I didn't want to be with just one person, but those weren't truths. They were shields I put up to avoid facing my fears and the parts of myself I hadn't yet healed. And in doing that, I lost you. Critical. Yes, the essay was when he tried shoving his hands down her pants. That's what she was saying was the essay. Oh my goodness. All right. I've read enough at this point. But the simple fact that she has this many receipts is insanity. She's filling up the entire screen.
Oh, there's a sentence before that said, "You're the love of my life."
I wonder. Oh, this is back in May. Okay. Can we please talk? Oh, okay. So these are her notifications on her phone. Can we please talk while you're here? A simple conversation would go very far for both of us. The lack of communication is very confusing, and I've been wanting to talk to. I don't know what's confusing about that.
Dude, she does not want it to you. It's not confusing. 30-year-old man. This is a 30-year-old man, guys.
Listen, if I send somebody 2 text messages, hell, even just the one,
Holy
and
crap.
they don't get back to me, I'm like, all right,
Yeah.
you're busy or something. I couldn't
God.
imagine texting someone for months on end and being like, I'm really confused here. Do you not want to talk to me?
That's so crazy.
Oh my gosh.
And keep in mind, this is only things that he sent to me. I can't document all the things that people told me that he was saying.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's just kind of a funny side note, I guess. I would like to highlight this message.
Oh, can I say something?
Absolutely.
This is extremely stressful, right? Because even if you're not answering the person, the fact that, you know, you see a message from them, it stresses you out instantly. Then you
It's
get messages
triggering.
from other people, like from the organization, telling you what he's saying. And oh, it's so stressful. Like right now, I'm dealing with the situation where I'm getting like screenshots from everywhere as well. Every single message that I get, it stresses me out. Can you imagine her for months and months on end, not answering his things, but he's still talking, and he's still like talking to the organization and having like people like that know both of you talk to you and what's going on. You have to. Oh, it's horrible. It's
Well, and then
horrible.
The other
So
thing about
stressful.
the other thing about it too is that I guarantee that there were people from the org being like, "Hey, Mizkif's trying to talk to you. Hey, Mizkif asked if I could
Exactly.
like." That's it makes
And
you
at the same time, she's
fearful.
not saying anything. Yeah, she's like has to
Yes.
cover for him the whole time because she doesn't
Yep.
want to. She doesn't want anyone to be against him, right? While she's holding all this stuff inside, it's so horrible.
Yeah,
Oh,
and it
man.
explains why she's like, while recanting this, she's just like shaking and her voice is like completely
Yeah.
unsettled and everything.
Because, doesn't really matter, but I ran it through
What?
Oh,
That's unreadable.
no.
What is
Don't
that?
tell me he used ChatGPT to write this out.
No.
Hold on. I think that's what she's about to say.
Doesn't really matter, but I ran it through a ChatGPT checker. And all the highlights. Like I said, doesn't really matter. I just thought it was interesting.
He couldn't even apologize on his own. He had to chat GPT. Chat
I didn't even know that was a
GPT.
thing.
Yeah, people do that. And it's funny too, because like with Dan Clancy, his initial response on the Twitch Twitter page, someone actually ran it through Chat GPT checker as well, and it was like 70% likely that it was used for Chat GPT. So that's crazy.
So crazy.
I can only imagine the prompt. I need to apologize for abuse. I need to apologize for throwing phones and throwing water. Like, Jesus, that's wild, dude.
But, yeah, like I said at first, the messages were just simple things, like, him saying he was worried about things, or saying no one was talking to him, which I don't think was even true at the time. I think he was just saying that to try to guilt me into responding to him. I'm not sure about that, of course.
More than likely.
This also extended to in-person interactions, because initially I made the mistake of thinking that I only had to cut him off through private communication, and, you know, we would be fine going to the same events and parties and such. I also had to start... Hold on, I'm still fucking sick. I made the mistake of thinking that I only had to cut him off through personal, private communication, but I also had to start avoiding going to the same parties or places I was worried he'd be in person. Because this was after he came back from his first trip to Japan. There was a party that I attended several months after I first went into contact with him. I was aware that he would be there, and I thought it'd be fine. I thought it wouldn't be a big deal. I thought I'll just let him have his space. I'll have my space. You know, it's not a big deal. We're adults, right? During this party, I felt like he was following me around and monitoring me, but I thought that I was just being paranoid. I was like, it's probably just in your head. I was hanging out with Nick and Catchy and a couple other friends. And at some point, Nick was like, it's too fucking loud down here. Let's go upstairs. No one's upstairs.
Oh God, he's gonna burst in. He's gonna be like, "Oh, y'all fucking up in here." That's my guess. Oh, that's I hope it's not something like that.
Let's just go, chill in a room and like talk where it's not so loud. And I was like, okay. So they, as a group, went upstairs first without me, but it took me a bit longer to get up there because someone like stopped me and was talking to me. And I did feel like, he was like standing pretty close to that person. I felt like he was watching me, but again, I thought I was just being paranoid. But I went upstairs. I was hanging out with Kmplxity.
It might be. I did see the kid in the back.
Because it was a red cat, so maybe it is cheddar,
Well, I don't think there is actual red cats. It might have been the orange, like a dark orange.
Get up there.
Well, yeah,
because
orange.
Someone like stopped me and was talking to me, and I did feel like, he was like standing pretty close to that person. I felt like he was watching me, but again, I thought I was just being paranoid. But I went upstairs. I was hanging out with Nick and Patchy and our other friends, and then about 30 minutes later, the room that we're in, the door opens.
Oh, I was right.
Miz.
I was right.
He opens the door, makes eye contact with me, goes, ooh, and then closes the door and leaves. And I was like, what the fuck? But again, I was still trying my best to, give the benefit of the doubt. Like, maybe it's just like an awkward situation or something. But a couple months later, the person that he was hanging out with that night reached out to me privately and was apologizing. And I was like, why? And they're like, I just felt like I had to apologize to you because I felt so bad and so embarrassed of what was going on. Like, yes, he wanted to see what you were doing. He was saying, like, I want to go see what's upstairs, and he was checking every room. And then after he opened the room that you were in with Nick, he closed the door and started laughing, and then he just wanted to talk about, how you guys broke up for the next, like, however many hours of the night. So I was like, wow, okay, that's good to know, I guess. The next story, that I want to tell involves what happened to me, Valkyrie, and Cinna earlier this year when we were attacked at the Santa Monica Pier. Because that was obviously... Hold on, let me close all these fucking texts. I don't want to look at them. They're still on my desktop.
Oh, don't tell me like he got somebody to go like stalk her.
I don't know.
That would be crazy.
She is connecting it to him somehow, so I guess.
We'll find out.
Yeah, so, it happened March 3rd of this year. A lot of people were talking about how me, Ray, and Cinna were attacked. Which was not an issue. Like, we had no issue with that. Like, obviously, it's big news. People are going to talk about it. It should be talked about. We had, like, no issues with anyone talking about it and covering it, and that included him. I was fine with that.
Oh, I think it's going to be a situation where he's like, this wouldn't have happened if I was there type of deal. I think that's what it's going to be. No.
He joined in on that whole thing of people going live to talk about it. And again, I'd like to remind people at this point, we were already a couple months into me being no contact with him, making it clear I didn't want anything to do with him. And so during this stream, he was covering what happened to me, Ray, and Cinna. He decided that he was going to tell more of my personal stalker stories that I've never personally talked about or shared publicly myself.
That's messed up. That's wrong. Bro, that's not your story to tell.
He took the opportunity of something that just happened to her to tell stories that she's never gone public?
For views.
What's wrong with you?
For views.
Right.
That's all it is. It's for views. That's deplorable and disgusting. That's ugh.
And one of these stories was one that like no one knew at all, and like it just felt so shitty because at the time that those things happened, like, you know, all the people that lived in that area together, we all came together and we all kind of decided, and this was heavily pushed by him, we should never talk about this because, you know, people are gonna be weird. It puts Emmy in more danger, and, you know, gives people ideas, so we're never gonna talk about it. But, you know, of course, as soon as there's some big drama that he's not involved in, and he finds a way to, you know, bring up, oh, I was there for something that happened to Emmy, he does it.
He made it about himself.
He was on a stream talking about these personal stories of mine, and I caught wind of it. And by the way, it was also so frustrating not to say anything at this time because the way he told those stories, he kind of framed himself as like The hero.
I called
The
it.
hero,
I
right?
called it. I called
Yeah,
it.
the hero. I know that MO.
Oh my god, that's crazy. I figured that's exactly the way it was gonna be. It's like, well, you guys, there was this one time where, I donned the cape and I went out and I saved the day. I stopped the missile from going off type of deal. Jesus Christ.
He was like, oh, I held the stalker at gunpoint.
Okay. Sure, buddy. Sure, buddy. And then you woke up, right?
The only person who ever came into contact face to face with that stalker before the police came was Bonnie. Bonnie
she
is the
mad?
person who found that guy outside, went inside, told everyone, called the police. The police came. All Miz did was he stood far away from the front door, behind glass and metal, with a gun. Yeah, I mean, I understand. Still very
I believe her because she's pissed. I believe that story because she is pissed off. That 100%.
scary, but why are you acting like you, like, if anyone deserves credit for that, it's Bonnie. Like, it's literally stolen valor. I'm so...
Okay. As a veteran, I'll let that one go.
I'm glad I finally get to say that because she is the one who, like, kept everyone in those two houses safe, not him. Anyway, back to the original thing, the Ray and Senna stuff. I was obviously panicking. Like, I just had this horrible thing happen to me the night before. It was, like, huge, like, public, millions of people seeing it. And then my crazy ex-boyfriend is going live talking about more of my personal stuff. And I'm, like, crying, and Senna and Ray are like, what's wrong? And I tell them, and I'm, like, panicking. I'm like, I need to call so-and-so, I need to call so-and-so, I need to call so-and-so. Like, these different people that I was like, they can contact him because I did not want to contact him. So,
I'm going to take a shot in the dark that he also did that in an effort to get her to contact him. Even if it was just to yell at him and be like, why'd you tell that story? Like, I would assume, I'm going to make the assumption that he probably told that story in hopes she would reach out to him. So that's my tinfoil hat theory.
Like it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Ray, Senna, some of me and Miz's mutual business partners, and Asmongold were all messaging him to stop. And by the way, Asmongold told me that he tried to call Miz while he was talking, and it rang 3 times and then hung up, which means that he saw it and he
declined.
Just wanted to be able to keep talking because, yeah. Anyway,
shout out to the Roach King.
Just a little note. I don't know exactly what, like, the other people said to him, but Ray and Senna told me that they were messaging him being like, bro, like, stop, what are you doing? Like, why are you doing this? And he was messaging them, who were also equally as traumatized as me, of course. They had gone through the same thing. What am I doing wrong? I'm letting people know what, girls go through.
Oh.
Is that your job? Well, anyway,
I'm a
that all happened
feminist.
a couple of months into me being no contact with him. And yeah, he was arguing with Ray and Senna while they're trying to be like, bro, like, stop, like, you're making it worse. He finished talking about my stuff and then reacted to Senna and Ray's whole stream where they were crying, addressing their communities, made sure to react to that, and then immediately went offline. So yeah, that was a terrible weekend. I got threatened to be stabbed, and then the next day, my weird ex was going live trying to self-insert so that he could make sure to farm his own clips.
Okay, I didn't know that portion of, because she said she had a stock. That's crazy.
That just came out, yeah.
Yeah. That's, oh my gosh. Wireless hole puncher, people. Wireless hole puncher. 20 feet, that's what you need. 20 feet. Anything inside 20 feet, a knife is deadly. Outside of it, nah, you're good. Let it fly.
After that incident, his attempts to talk to me only ramped up, which I showed those texts. We went back to Japan, and during that trip, he was texting and calling me, trying to call me quite a lot, begging me to take him back. And at the same time, I heard that he was reaching out to quite a few other streamers who know both of us. And he was crying to them about how he wanted to get back together and how he thought someday we would reconnect and eventually get married. I don't think he even meant that, but I hope not. But I assume he did that with the hope that they would relay the messages back to me since I wasn't talking to him. And, I mean, some of them did.
He's delusional.
I also had a couple other streamers report to me that he would obsessively watch my stream and not in a like, oh, I wonder what Emmy's doing right now way, or like having my stream open. Like, he would be obsessively and attentively hate watching my stream.
Yeah. You want to give us your point of view on that?
Yeah, but I mean, it's clear that the guy's obsessive, right? So obviously he's going to be watching her streams from start to finish, see if there's any guys in her life, or, you know, who she's playing games with. And yeah.
See, it's not about if she's doing well. It's about he can write down. He is the SpongeBob meme of write that down. I gotta make sure.
Like watching my stream and just saying horrible things almost every time that I've been live this year. And they tell me that he would want to discuss how he believed I still wanted him.
Oh, he is delusional.
Considering I never replied. And he would ask other guys if they thought I had slept with anyone this year.
Oh my! Like, of course, that's the thing you go to.
It's the most important thing. Oh,
yeah.
It's the most important. He's like, has anyone else taken the rental out for a test drive? Is anybody like?
So
God,
crazy.
That's just completely. Yeah, how are you supposed to know if someone hate watches you like that? Well, she did say that a lot of people were telling her about him watching and what he said about her streams and all that. And then the other thing too, I believe on Twitch, you actually have the ability to search who's watching you, or like at least pull up who's in your chat. Not like how on like YouTube, where if you can.
That's not how hate watchers do it though. The hate watchers will go on another browser where they're not logged in, or an alt, and they'll watch you through there because
because they don't want you to know.
Exactly.
They told me he would say stuff like, no, there's no way she's done that. She's not like that. And she's probably waiting for me. Really fucking gross stuff like that.
Dude, let's ask Mizkif how many girls he slept with in Japan. How about that?
Oh, I'm sure he was running through it. Like, gee, that's disgusting. This man's like, nah. He's like, nah, I'm too good. She's obviously waiting.
So crazy. Yeah.
Dude's delusional to the nth degree.
And a couple of streamers in LA also told me that he was telling people that me and him still talk all the time, but we simply weren't together anymore because
he's talking
was
for sure.
too mature and I was not ready. I was too immature. But yeah, you can see from the messages I showed.
Calling someone immature.
I'm not sure if
Guys, she wouldn't message me back after sending her multiple messages for multiple months. She's so immature. Why can't she just let things go?
People can go back and read them. He was begging me to take him back for the majority of this year, which was 7 or 8 months total. And like I said, some of the messages were even, I believe, ChatGPT. Not that it really matters. It's just interesting, right? As of today, it's been about 2 months since he has attempted to contact me directly. I think because about 2 months ago is when he started kind of getting scared that I might have been like, you know, telling people things, which again, I wasn't going on my way to do it, but if anyone ever asked me, I wasn't gonna lie to them.
That's the biggest fear.
At the beginning, before I started fully telling the story, I heard from my friends, other streamers, and my employees that he had cooked up a plot that if I ever tried to talk about him, like about the abuse or anything else, he would try to go live and say that I killed my rabbits. And I was told that he approached several streamers who were around us a lot when we lived together and asked if they would basically back him up, and they refused.
So he was like getting ready.
He was trying to do IRL chaos, man.
Crap.
He was like, my time is coming. This is all about to like hit ahead. He's like, I gotta get my my dirt ready and everything. He does have the mind of a 17-year-old critical. Like this is see, and that's the scary thing about like hate and love, or even obsession. A lot of people will confuse obsession for love, and it's not. It's like there's a reason why there's so many like TV shows called When Love Turns to Murder. Okay, there's a big reason for it.
Obviously, they're not insane. And even something happened this weekend at TwitchCon. One of my employees told me he went up to them and he threatened them, saying, if Emmy ever tries to talk about me, I will destroy her. Whatever.
It had to be a female. I don't see him acting this way with men. Like that's one of the biggest things about like any sort of abuser is like they if it's a dude 9 out of 10 times, as long as it's not like, and I don't mean this in the most disrespectful way, but like a weaker or at least weak-willed dude, a lot of the time they won't be like this with them. Because if it's a big dude, right? Like or just even a normal no shit type of guy, most of the time we're gonna be like, oh yeah, okay, bam. Like we're not gonna just back down like that. At least you would hope.
That means. And within
I
the
must have
same
also
night,
pushed her to do this, by the way. Getting threatened by him.
True.
he also texted one of my best friends, and he would have known that I would have been with this girl. He texted her saying, hey, worried about her, hope she's okay. You know, right after he just said to my employee and other people that he was going to try to destroy my life. Yeah, all in the same night. And, yeah, that was Saturday, so that pretty much leads us to today. I feel like it's clear I've spent the last year of my life cutting him off and building a new life with people that actually care about me and doing my best to move on peacefully without causing any drama. I did not want to do this. A lot of other creators actually told me that after his other allegations in 2022, if I wasn't the first person to stand up for him and start appearing on his channel again, they do not think that they would have gone back to helping him with his content.
And see, that's kind of the issue that like would be brought up of like, well, the fact that you didn't say anything is what led people to just be able to be like, oh, well, those allegations were never actually proven, you know? Yeah. So, and the fact that, oh, well, you know, she's going back and doing this with the organization and all that. So he has to not be that bad of a person. So
that puts a lot of pressure on her to actually come out and say something. Yeah.
Yeah. And the craziest thing about it is if he was so scared about her coming out and saying something, he did all the right things to make her want to come out and say something. Like she would probably never have done this before if he was just like, all right, cut losses and move on, you know? Yeah. So he's the, you know, he's the marionette of his own downfall.
Yeah, 100%.
So I always tried to keep things private, always tried to make things better, had hope that things would get better, you know, tried to be supportive. And my thanks that I got for all of that was abuse and resentment. And for all of 2025, all of this year, harassment and hatred from him and his community, while he was the whole time secretly begging for me to take him back behind the scenes. I've taken a lot of steps already. As I said, it's apparent. I've taken a lot of steps to restructure my life and be a lot more careful about who I help and who I invest my time and my care into. And I'm doing a lot better now, but I felt like this was a necessary strain because, like I said at the very beginning, I have heard that he has done things to other people that aligned with some of my own experiences, so I felt like it would be wrong for me to keep holding on to all this information.
Yeah.
I know I stayed for way too long, and I thought that I could help, and I unfortunately learned that I couldn't, but I worked really hard to have the life that I have now with my friends, my family, my pets, and my community, and I'm so grateful for how things are now. It was very difficult, but I'm very proud of myself for making the choices that I did to end up where I am now, and yeah, that's my story of dealing with abuse, psychological and domestic abuse, sexual assault, and stalking, and being threatened on if, you know, I ever talked about it. And this whole time, it's been kind of hidden in plain sight away from hundreds of thousands of people. And, yeah, I know that me saying all of this probably isn't gonna make him or what's left of his community leave me alone. But
No, it's not.
Sorry, voice crack.
Oh.
I know talking about this probably won't make him or probably won't make him or what remains of his community leave me alone. But I'm at least glad that people will be aware of all of this now, and I won't have to feel like I'm hiding a terrible dark secret anymore.
Yeah, because that stress is killer.
It's all out there now, and
it's a relief to have things come out. But then at the same time, it's the stress. But it's the stress now. we know that he's gonna retaliate. So she's stressed, like, what is he gonna do? What is he gonna do? Because he was threatening her before it came out. Now it came out, and he's gonna retaliate. So that's the scary part now too, right? There's the relief, but then still the stress. Yeah.
And then you got to prepare for what lies he might tell, because it's already like she's already heard that he's, you know, willing to go ahead and say lies and possibly bring other people in to, you know, substantiate the lies. So
clear that not everyone that I interact with or that I'm friends with knew the extent of the things that were happening. And a lot of streamers didn't really know anything at all. But I mean, like I said before, people aren't stupid. I think it's pretty clear that a lot of people knew that things were happening. And like I said, you have to remember, it's not just me. A lot of people have told me that they have their own, you know, grievances with him. But for the people who...
I think that's probably the end of her story there.
I would have liked to spend my...
Yeah. Okay. So that, that's crazy. I mean, even if we just go strictly off of what she provided proof for and nothing else, the dude is crazy. Like he has controlling, he has a controlling issues. I mean, from the clip, he obviously has anger issues. Like there's something wrong with that dude. So well, I guess now we get to hear what he has to say. See what justifications he might have for this.
From zero to hero, we